Alright guys, welcome back to the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So today we're just going to be going over some of the EZAs. I want to start out because they just dropped this tweet, like maybe 30 minutes ago. Going forward with the next update for the game, iOS 14 and lower, Android 7 or lower, they will both be discontinued. So if you're still playing on those, unfortunately, it will be discontinued, but it is quite the it's quite a ways away, quite a ways back. But yeah. Anyways, moving forward, jumping into these EZAs. So they got God Goku Hit got an EZA, and I mean, I'm not gonna act like they're bad, because they're not. They're not bad. I just think they're good enough. So you've got greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn on the 12 key. You got the greatly raises for both stats for 4 turns on the 18 key, which is really good. They've got base 20% damage reduction, 200% to both stats and 5 key. Always nice to have. The attack's guaranteed to hit isn't something that's going to be that pivotal, but it's just something that's nice to have when you have it, because some bosses do dodge, and it's just annoying to deal with. So they come in with a 50% chance to dodge. Now, when your HP is above 67% or 67% or more, you're going to get an extra 10% damage reduction, so that'll bump it up to 30%, which I think is kind of worthless. I don't really think that needed to be there. I feel like they could have easily just given them base 30%. And is that from his pre-EZA? Yeah, it's not even from his pre-EZA. So I don't know why they felt the need to do that, but you know, I don't get it. But whatever. That's what they want to do. So when you're attacking, you're getting attack and defense 67%. It's going to disable guard, so it'll hit for type neutrality. And then as your first to second attacker in the turn, you're going to get 6 key on top of this. So you'll be getting 11 key in total here. Then you're going to get another attack and defense 160%, plus 16% to damage reduction and chance to dodge. So that's going to put your dodge chance at 66%, and your damage reduction going to be from 20 to 36, assuming you don't have this extra 10. If you have the extra 10, you'll be at 46. So that's not bad. That could definitely be better, but it's not bad. Now, for every attack received or evaded as the first or second attacker in the turn, you're going to get 20% attack up to 100%. And as the third attacker in the turn, you're going to get 7 key and 170% attack. And this is where my issues with this unit start to come in here. They get a guaranteed additional super, and they interrupt the enemy attack, so that's going to be an attack break for when they're in the third slot. And for every attack performed in the third slot, they're going to get 20% defense up to 100%. So to use this guy effectively, what they're asking you to do is to float him off on the first turn, right? And then that's going to be for every attack performed is the third attacker in the turn. You're going to get your 100% defense. So you'll do your initial attack, then you'll do this one, which that's 2, right? Then this is 3, and then that's 4 for your potential system additional, which is 1 short of this. So you won't get your full build up unless you float them off twice. Oh, oops. I had a side mouse button there. Which I have an issue with. I think that's stupid. To me, that's incredibly stupid. Like, why couldn't it be for every attack received, or, every attack performed, received, or evaded? Or give it overslot, or give them overlap. Like, let this build up in slot 2 and 3, let this build up in slot 1 and 2. I think that's really stupid, because for you to fully build them up, you've got to float them off twice, and then you can start building up your attack. Which, to me, that's very, very stupid for a design. I don't think that's a smart or a competent way to design a unit. I don't see a purpose to it, and I genuinely feel like they made this guy weaker than they needed to be just for the sake of making them weaker. I would even go to the point of, I don't know that this guy was the right choice for what they needed. My reason for saying this is the int hit needs Universe 6 allies. That's what he wants. The the Super Saiyan Blue Captain Goku, he wants representatives of Universe 7 category allies. That's what he wants. This guy's on neither. Who is he helping? Like, who is he realistically helping? You know what I mean? Like, you can run him on Hit's team, don't get me wrong. You can run him on Hit's team, and he'll probably perform really well there. I mean, he's got the links for it. What are they? Probably at 5? 4 out of 5? Or 4 out of 7? 5 out of 7? Yeah, they've got the links. But Hit wants... I say Hit wants Universe 6. He wants it for the Scouter, which is it's nice to have. But, you know, he's not going to get that. So that's the only place you're going to run him, because you can't... Sorry, I'm bringing that up. You can't run him on this guy's team. The reason I say that is because with running this guy, if you don't have this right here, he just looks horrible. With this, he looks pretty good. And he looks really, really good with it. But without that 70%, he does not look good. And so you can't sacrifice that. And not having anything that's going to be buffing reps of Universe 7, I think, is a bad move. Personally. I mean, like I said, I think the unit is good. I think they're going to be good. I just think that they were needlessly held back. For what reason, I couldn't tell you. You know? Like, they can't build up their attack and defense at the same time. I mean, hell, you could even just say, for every attack received or evaded, get 20% attack up to 100%. For every attack performed, get 20% defense up to 100%. Don't lock it to a slot. And that lets them build up and not feel like they have to get floated off twice to get them to fully build up. Because I just think that's poor design. You know, or maybe give them one more built-in additional. So they're not forced, or even do 25% instead of 20. That would also have fixed it. They're gonna make there's so many small things here. Like, I'm not missing something, am I? He's got the initial attack that he does. There's the one additional. And then there's the second additional that you get for being in slot 3. Yeah. So that's 4 attacks that you can do. And there's no reason for that. That's what, you know what I mean? Like, there's no... He's nerfed unreasonably. There's no point to it. But my rant aside, they're gonna be a solid EZA. I just don't necessarily believe that they were the right pick for it. Even saying that, though, because I would have liked for it to be someone to help this guy. Because since Hit's probably gonna get the Part 2 LR, it's looking like it's gonna be LR Kefla for Part 2. That's what it's looking like. There's still the chance that they do LR God Goku and Hit for the Gold Coin LR and make it a tag unit, which would be so much better. That would give both units some of the help that they would want, because one would be on Universe 6 and reps of U7. But that's very, very unlikely that they do that, considering we are getting this unit right here as an EZA. Would it be better? Would it be cooler? Yes and yes. Is it going to happen? Probably not. This is probably where we get LR Kefla. And don't get me wrong, I don't care for Kefla. I really don't. But it's going to be like an LR tag Kale and Caulifla that fuses into Kefla, more than likely. Because they also would fit the 3 requirements for the... What's it called? We got the missions for a Frieza. I can't think of what's it called. It's like the Goku event, the legendary Goku event, but the Frieza version. There's some missions that dropped for it. It was Mastered Evolution, Rapid Growth, and Super Bosses. The only units that really fit both those molds is a fusing Kefla with a Kale Caulifla tag, or a LR Hit God Goku tag unit. Those are the only 2 options that fit all roles right there. So I mean, it's more than likely going to be the Kefla route. Hopefully it's not. If it's not, that'll give us some help. But as far as the reps of U7 goes, I don't think any EZAs, like, what they could do this Frieza. They could do these 2 sub EZAs. And that's really it. Nobody else is in a position to EZA that's not already EZA'd. Because most of the units here are EZA'd units. Or the new units just aren't good enough. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it's been handled poorly. And it kind of has left a bad taste in my mouth as far as, going into this. So, but moving forward, we've got some World Tournament units here that have got their EZAs and Dokkan Awakenings. So we'll go ahead and get into that. First, we've got Mecha Frieza. He's going to be getting a Dokkan Awakening this World Tournament. He's going to be changing into going forward being a support unit for Revenge and Wicked Bloodline. Getting 60% attack and 30% defense, which isn't bad. Which is not bad at all. But when he's attacking, he's getting 120% attack and defense. And then with another Revenge or Wicked Bloodline category attack, ally attacking in the same turn, that's going to give another 120% to both stats, an additional super, and a chance to crit for 60% and 30% damage reduction with attacking with 12 or more ki. Which he's more than likely going to get. Yeah, that's literally just when you're getting a super. I don't know why it's worded that way, but it's when you get a super. Oh, I guess I do know why it's worded that way. For if the unit's sealed, this will still proc because you're attacking with 12 or more ki. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't look bad. This Frieza to me very much feels like a. Go back and I'm just curious to check his yeah. He very much feels like a final slot unit. He's your last pick because you're trying to do a mission. He's not bad, but he's not great. Not someone I'm like dying to get or I'm like super hyped for. And we've got Bojack here, who is greatly raising attack and defense here. I didn't see this. Oh. Okay, hold on. Now, Frieza doesn't have that. I didn't know. Okay, so Bojack is going to be greatly raising his stats for one turn. He's going to raise Extreme Class Allies' defense by 30% for 2 turns. Hold on. Okay. He's going to get attack and defense of 170 and ki plus 3. For his base, his base start a turn. The more HP you have, the higher attack he's gonna have, up to 200%. That's not really, you're not worried about his damage. Honestly, if this was defense, I would feel a lot better about him. But he's also getting 100% attack and defense when attacking, and he also gets the disable enemy guard thing that I was talking about before. So per space traveling warrior category ally or extreme class category ally, depending on the team, whichever has more of the predominant category on the team, you're going to get 40% attack and defense, and then all allies are going to get a critical chance of 3%, self-excluded. So that's going to look like if you've got 5, that's going to be 13% for the other 2 units on rotation with him. And that's going to be, what, 200% attack and defense? Assuming I'm reading that correctly for Bojack himself. So he looks like he could be pretty solid. And moving out, when all allies are space traveling warrior categories or extreme class characters, he's going to get a guaranteed crit, which is whatever. He will get guard. He's going to give all allies ki plus 2 and attacking defense 30%. So I think he's going to be pretty solid. This is probably the best unit that we're going to get, honestly. His main reason for that is that's kind of crazy for them to give him. Is he, what 200% leader is he on? Yeah, he is on Cell, so this could really help Cell. That could definitely really help Cell. Moving forward, here we've got this Gohan. 200% base stats, 120% when attacking with 12 or more ki. He doesn't look like anything special. You've got a future saga or androids category enemy. So that's going to be another 2 ki, 120% stats, and then a 70% chance to stun the attacked enemy, which is whatever. You're probably not going to see that because most enemies can't be stunned. Now, if you've got a future category ally on the team, you're getting another 2 ki. You're getting a 30% chance to get a crit and 30% damage reduction. You're going to get another 20% attack when attacking with 12 or more ki. And when there's an ally whose name includes Trunks on the team, you'll get, once again, another 2 ki. Another 30% damage reduction and crit rate. And then defense 120% when attacking with 12 or more ki. So realistically, this guy just wants to be run with a future Trunks. Like, that's the best way to look at it. And when you run him with future Trunks, he's going to get 4 ki. He's going to get 120% attack and defense. and he's going to get 60% damage reduction and crit rate. So he really doesn't sound that bad. And I don't think he's that bad. My only issue with him is that currently, if we pull up right now Trunks, is there a way for me to look at Trunks by name? Actually, it'll be easier if I go here. It'll be easier if I do it this way here right now. So we'll just look up Trunks. Sorry about that, I have my water on the table, so I was moving that out of the way. So we just look up Trunks, and do this right here. This is all of the future Trunks that we have, or the Trunks that are going to be on the future category that will proc that for him. I think if we head into a celebration, once these guys EZA, which they should be coming up on soon, that could be a really big thing for him, and he could really get some help from that. These guys should also be EZAing relatively soon, so that could also be a unit that could really help him. I got lost where I was at. Here we go. So with that being said, I mean, I don't think he's going to be currently a really good unit. I think he'll be okay, but once, you know, we get a better Trunks to run with him, I think he could definitely see some play then. I think he'll definitely see some play at that point. As far as, you know, one of the last couple units you pick on your team, kind of like that Frieza. Well, I say kind of like that. He's going to be better than the Frieza. But in that same vein of, you know, I need another couple units. Let me throw this guy on. He could probably perform okay. That's what I feel about this guy. This Bojack, I feel like he's a little bit better. I feel like this Bojack is a deliberate pick as a floater. Mainly just because of this. If for nothing else. He's a deliberate pick for a floater simply for that ability. Because that is busted. But we'll just continue moving on here. This TN finally got an EZA. I don't really care that he got an EZA, I guess is a better way of putting it. I feel like he still needs a Dokkan Fest for his moment. Like this TN still needs a Dokkan Fest from the tournament. But he's getting Ki +2, 200% stats. When there's only one enemy, you're getting an extra 250% defense and 30% damage reduction, which is nice. Before he supers, he's getting an extra 30% damage reduction, so that's going to be 60% in total. Now, when he's attacking with 12 Ki or more, so that's going to be essentially on his supers unless he's sealed, he's going to have 250% attack, a 50% chance to crit, and he's going to stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns. Once again, you'll probably not see this because a lot of stages can't be stunned at this point in the game. Now, what's unfortunate about that is when the attacked enemy is in any kind of, you know, attack down, defensive down, or stun kind of state, you're going to get another 1048% attack for that one turn, and you're going to get a guaranteed crit. You'll probably not see this very often just because based on the merit of him not being able to debuff that often, which is unfortunate. I feel like he would have really benefited here though if he had a built-in additional. I think that could have really benefited him personally, but that's just me. But I think he's alright. As far as for what he's on, he's a good World Tournament Earthling unit. You know, a Bond of Friendship. Who leads this? Oh. Yeah. This is probably the new Gold Quinn LR. If it's Kefla, this is probably what they'll lead. His Bond of Friendship. Anyways, now this is just he's a solid unit. He's not an amazing pick. I think he'll be an alright pick. I think he'll certainly be an alright pick. And now, so just moving on to keep the ball rolling here. We're gonna have Mercenary Tao. He's gonna get his EZA, which I'm honestly surprised. I think he's gonna be pretty solid. So he's gonna get greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn. He's gonna get a 70% chance to crit on his 12 Ki. And same for his 18 Ki, is gonna be greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn with another 70% chance to crit there. So based on his passive, he's going to be a nuker. That hasn't changed. He's going to get an additional 2 Ki per Ki sphere obtained, which is kind of crazy. But, you know, that'll just help him as far as with poor links and whatnot. That'll just help him as an LR to maintain that, to maintain getting his 24 or 18 to 24 Ki supers. So, for Tao, every Ki sphere he gets is going to give him 56% attack and 48% defense. Now, when he gets 3 or more Ki spheres, he's going to get an extra 75% attack and 64% defense. Now, when he's attacking with 10 or more Ki, that's an extra 108%. when he's receiving an attack with 10 or more ki, it's an extra 108% defense as well. If you've got 50% or more HP, you're getting another 20% damage reduction and 100% defense. Now, that's all really, really good. Now this is where it gets a little weird. I'm uncertain a little on how this works. So it's saying before receiving the 3 attacks in battle, so for the first 3 hits he takes, you're going to have 20% damage reduction added on, so you'll be at 40%. Now, after those 3 attacks are up, you're going to lose this, which I think is, but whatever. After that, now when HP is 50% or less at the start of the character's attacking turn, after the character receives 3 or more attacks in battle, you're going to get 50% damage reduction. Now, this has the 1 next to it, so I do believe that means that so for the turn that you get these 3, you take these 3 hits and then you lose that 20%, then the next time he's here, you're going to get this for 1 turn, this 50%, and then the next time he's there, you're not going to have either one. That's how I read it. And I personally don't care for that. I think that's kind of stupid, and I really don't like it. The other option for how that could be working is, you'll lose this, then once this is activated, you'll just have the 50% cut for the rest of the fight. But I highly doubt they're going to give him 70% damage reduction, almost free of charge. That's very unlikely to me. Now, another thing he has, though, is he is getting 444% attack, and he's getting a guaranteed crit when you pop his active skill. And his active skill massively raises attack and causes ultimate damage. So, and this can be activated at 50% or less HP, or if you receive 3 attacks, or 3 or more attacks. So I think that's going to hit stupidly hard, depending on how it's performed. You know, if you pick up your orbs and then pop like Grade 8 Goku, for example, or something like that, that resets your turn, and then pop it, it's going to hit stupidly hard. But just to pull up the comparison's sake, I guess would be the way to put it. Who would he be on? He'd be on a team with you, probably. Yep, Andrew Salsago. I'm looking for the Tech Super EZA. This Tech Cell Super EZA hits stupidly hard, right? It hits stupidly hard. He's getting 50% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. So this guy's got LR stats, and he's getting 56. So you're going to be seeing him hit some pretty crazy attack stats, more than likely. Does he have okay, so he is on Kid Goku's 200%. Or Kid Goku's full leader skill. That's the only one he's on. That's the only place you'll see him on. I mean, it's not gonna be. It's not great. He doesn't have really good link partners either, which is unfortunate. But I do believe you will be able to see him perform decently well under Kid Goku. But I mean, that's really it. I mean, that's. We're gonna be expecting. So expect for this weekend coming up here, which will be the 9th through the 11th. Expect to have World Tournament, because we got these EZAs here, so this weekend we'll have World Tournament. Goku Day stuff's coming up. I don't know what the plan is for the Part 2 LR. I imagine we'll hear about that come, probably Saturday or Sunday. We'll probably get, I feel like we'll get some information about the Part 2 LR, just depending on where it drops. Who was last year? I think last year's Ultimate Gohan. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up real quick, just to kind of get an idea of when he dropped, and we'll use that as try and get that as an idea for when the Part 2 LR for this one's going to drop. On the 14th is when it dropped. So that is exactly 1 week from today, next Wednesday. So yeah, so probably Saturday or Sunday, I think we could see some information about this Gohan drop. Probably, I would say Saturday, so more likely it'd be like Friday to Sunday morning, or Sunday night, Monday morning, probably when we see some info about this Gohan get released. That's just how I think it'll land. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. Not about the Gohan, sorry. When we'll see some information about the Part 2 LR get released, I'm getting mixed up. I'm getting the information, I'm assuming that date, because Gohan was in the same time slot last year. So yeah. With that being said, kind of looking forward to these guys. Hopefully, wish they were better. That's kind of how I feel about all these guys. Bojack looks like he's gonna be really impressive. I think everybody here looks like these three look solidly impressive Frieza's just here. Tien's whatever. He could be better. He could be worse. And then these guys, I just feel like they aren't the right EZA right now. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Let me know how you guys feel about these EZAs. Maybe I'm just being a little too harsh on them, but I don't think I am. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. So peace out, y'all. Stay safe and have a good one.